My name is Officer Scott Lawrence. I'm with the Hoffman Estates Police Department.
I'm Lieutenant Tony Butler. I'm with the Hoffman Estates Fire Department.
So we've been working on Rescue Task Force for the past year now, I'd imagine. And it all kind of stems from Columbine. Columbine years and years ago, we had an active shooter event. We're all aware of that. We had 2 shooters inside of an actual space, multiple victims inside the school. And we realized that our tactics that we were using back in the days weren't saving people's lives like that we should have. So we've kind of come together and realized that we need to get treatment to victims as fast as possible. So once we have taken the person in custody, the actual active shooter in custody, and we have information inside the building that there's multiple victims inside the space, we have to get our fire department personnel inside because we as police officers are not really trained to work on major traumas, gunshots, things like that. So we started working together in a joint fashion to work with the fire department to get them into this space as fast as possible.
Today's exercise was step 2 in the process. Last month we went through the crawl phase where we first got police and firefighters together. They showed us their tactics of how they like to move down the hallways, how they like to clear rooms, and how we would integrate in with them. And we basically came up with these rescue task force, which generally consists of 2 police officers in the front and the back providing security, and then anywhere from 2 to 4 firefighters in the middle to provide medical support. Today's exercise incorporated live victims. We had 15 victims from Harper College. The fire science students came out. We also had victims from the alumni associations, from the police academies and the fire academies. So today, our rescue task force, we had 3 teams move through the building. They encountered these victims who all had various injuries. They provided medical treatment to them, and then they had to evacuate them to a casualty collection point where they were triaged and processed for transportation to the hospital.
Today's scenario was an active shooter inside of an office complex, multiple victims like the lieutenant had just mentioned. And we simulated that the offender had been taken into custody. The building has not been secured, but it's called a warm zone. Now, we have no other information that there's another threat inside the building, so now we bring in the fire department in this rescue task force formation to treat and save as many lives as possible. Once we've accomplished that goal, we start to extricate them out to definitive care to save their lives as fast as possible as well.
I think what was interesting and what was good is we have a fairly large office complex here and 15 victims. And in approximately 40 minutes, 3 rescue task force teams were able to move through this building, identify where the victims were at, treat them, and evacuate them to the casualty collection point, again, all within about 40 minutes. And they had excellent accountability. We actually had dispatchers from Northwest Central Dispatch.
Calling out for room 107 from a hysterical female. She just screaming, room 107. The male is bleeding out and he's dying.
To provide real-time radio communications and intelligence updates. And we also had support from Northwest Community Hospital with the moulaging of the patients.
Yeah, having this joint effort between the police and fire, we've come a long way. And really the end goal is to go into this catastrophic event to save people's lives. And we're trying to get there as fast as possible. I think it's very realistic. We actually talked to the role players and explained to them our training objectives that we wanted to accomplish today.
All right, ladies, here's what we're going to do. We're going to help your friend out, but this is the way we have to do it. We're going to have to move her over to this, and we're all going to help carry her out, okay?
Her knees also, she hurt her knees.
Try to slide you over.
Don't let her get one.
Just a little bit, okay, all right. Just a little bit.
We are out of battle dressing. We're going to move these 3 patients back to room 107 as the CC.
All right.
They did a very good job on giving the officers and also the paramedics and the firemen real-world type of a situation, the screaming, the yelling.
Call your mom. Call your mom. You'll be all right.
Hurts. Oh, God.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
This just having
The hanging on, the clinging on to people, that people will actually be doing in a real life situation.
Next in room 107. We had two green
We got two
patients.
blue patients focused in the hallway. We've located them in room 107.
107. This will be our CCP for right now.
107.
114.
Clear. Come in.
I see a
Shoulder, left shoulder, one over here. Got that one?
Yeah, we also, with having dispatch on scene,
report to multiple victims. Also getting now that the offender is neutralized at this time, getting further.
they were also able to provide real time intelligence to the rescue task force teams. For instance, they were providing radio reports that they were having cellular communications from people inside the building. Hey, we're in room 120. This guy is severely injured. We need help here. And when that gets relayed through the radio system,
Message received 107. I'm going to meet up with the community patrols and the Unified Command with PD.
that adds a little tension and stress to the rescue task force teams and kind of moves them along in the process.
We're getting additional calls from room 114, inviting 2 more victims there.
We're going back. All right.
Are we reading that?
Kill us all. Oh, we got one. All right, sir, what's going on? You injured?
No,
What's going on? I got some blood on you. What happened?
I don't know. Did I kill us all?
Gonna kill us all? Can you stand?
Yeah.
You can stand? Where's our CCP?
We've set aside 2 more training days, same type of scenarios, maybe a little bit different next time. But we're trying to get as many officers and also firemen and paramedics through this type of training so they can actually better themselves to save people's lives.
And if we do we're hoping to do further training in this later in the year. At that point in time, we'll probably take it up to the next level, the running phase, and that will probably also incorporate transporting patients to St. Alexis Medical Center, so we'll get the hospital involved in this as well to work their part of it. So again, the primary focus today is to move through the building, work with these patients, and go through the process that we established last month. So that's all we're looking for. We do have dispatch, so you're going to receive intel reports via the radios. So yeah, feel free to interact with dispatch. They're there. Again, there will be victims in there. You know, treat it as realistically. I told them to be realistic. You guys treat it as realistic.
It's a training environment. Don't forget it's a training environment. So if people were to latch onto you or grab you and start yelling at you and help me, help me, help me, it's training.
Central 18. To the right leg and right arm of the second patient. Addressing both of them. Both hanging on
Both hanging on great.
In the rescue task force, don't forget that the police are there to get you to where you need to go safely. But once you're inside the room, it's your show. Put these guys to work if they need to have a job, put the cops to work, and then move on from there. But always have your security element front and back for your safety. All right? As I talk to the victims here, our role players, we actually do this training, the fire and police together, for them, and it's for their loved ones, and it's for the schools that they go to, it's for the places where they work. So in case we were to have this bad event happen, an active shooter event of some sort happening in our town, we do this training to help them understand that we're actually training to get better at what we do.
Unfortunately, these types of scenarios are becoming more common in the world, and it's just one of those things we have to prepare for. And by taking these steps, if an event like this was to occur, we'd be better prepared to react to it.